Hello and welcome to Soul Healing with Bree. Today, I'm going to be discussing an event that took place for me in my life in October of 2015. Before I begin this story, I would like to make sure that this is a mature audience listening. This is not a story for children. This is not a story for anyone who is sensitive to NDE experiences or realms outside of the normal, ordinary human conceptualization. If you are still interested in listening, I will begin that story now. October 2015, I was 6 months pregnant with my baby girl. At 9 weeks, her twin sister had passed. And when I was 24 weeks, I lost my baby girl. My husband and I went to the doctor's office, normal routine checkup. We knew something was wrong, so we were sent to a specialist. When we went to the specialist, we discovered on the monitor that my baby girl, our baby girl, was no longer with us. This was a troubling time, obviously, to lose 2 babies. And I was not in a good place. We scheduled the appointment so that we could go in and have her removed. During the procedure, which normally would be a standard procedure, 30 minutes, outpatient, in and out, I was in surgery for, I believe, 6 to 7 hours. My husband waited in the waiting room, panicking, worried, not knowing if I was okay. Only October 2021 did I remember what happened during that time. Prior to October 2021, I did not remember any of this. All that I remembered was going into surgery and briefly hearing the doctors when I had already been under anesthesia, which I did find concerning. But all of the rest of my experience was blocked from my conscious mind, stored in my subconscious mind. And when I went to Colorado in October of 2021, I remembered all of it. And I can still remember it now. The doctor made a mistake that day. She had accidentally severed part of my bowel, my intestine. And they needed to go in and remove a small part of my intestine to ensure that I didn't have internal bleeding. But little did they know, my spirit left my body. My spirit left my body, and I remember floating near the ceiling of the hospital room and watching the doctors and seeing my baby. And I left. I believe this might have been a choice of mine. And I went up into a place that was light. It was pure light. It was not a physical realm. I remember being surrounded by light. I remember being surrounded by balls of light that were speaking to me, but they weren't speaking to me with a voice. It was telepathic. It was a knowing. It was a conversation that was being had on a level that I've never had in my human experience. And the conversation went something like this. I said I did not want to come back. And I was being told by these beings that I needed to go back, that it wasn't my time, that I hadn't completed all I came here to complete, that I was needed on earth, that I was needed by many on earth. And if I didn't come back, those I knew and those I didn't know would suffer. So it went back and forth for a little while, and they gave me a final sort of chance. They said that if I wanted to stay, I could, but I would need to know that I would not be fulfilling my soul's purpose. So, reluctantly, I agreed to come back. They sent me back, and I do remember coming to in the room that I was in. There was others around me, tented from me, and I remember being very confused, in a sort of state of delirium. I still had anesthesia pumping through my system, and I wasn't fully present. Coming to this realization in Colorado was astounding. It was awakening. It was clarifying. It reminded me that everything that we experience is, we don't know everything that is going on in our daily experience and situational experiences, and the subconscious mind is a structure for which stores a mass of information and sometimes memories that we are not consciously aware of, but that do operate our way of being and that do control the way we make decisions and go about life. I was reluctant to share this story, especially on this channel. However, I realized that belief is something that people find very, very difficult, and belief is something that takes time, and belief is something that is built. Thoughts and emotions are somewhat fleeting. They occur and they subside like a wave, coming in, coming out, the tides. But beliefs are much more stable. Beliefs are more so a bedrock for which you're building everything about your existence on. And I had received the motivation and sort of download and inspiration to record this because I realized that many that will come to me and many souls that are on ascending journeys and awakening journeys, they might question everything that's going on, and they might not know what to believe. They might not know if there is life after this, if there is anything after this. And I am here to tell you that there is. And I am here to tell you that there is much more to this experience than you may be currently aware of. And I am also here to tell you that when I left this earth, the experience I had was nothing short of bliss and joy and love and peace. So if you're feeling at all fearful about what happens after you leave this planet, I am here to tell you not to be. I am also here to tell you that this life and this experience is important in every way. And if you are able to understand yourself and understand what you're here for, what drives you, what motivates you, what's important to you, I urge you to do that as soon as possible. Because society and the outward world are not going to tell you to do these things. Society and the outward world are going to tell you to look and be just like everyone else. Part of my identity since I was a small girl is being weird, is being out there, is being different. And, only at 35 years old do I so appreciate that differentness, that weirdness, that strangeness. And I know now it is because I am not fully from here. I am a starseed. I am an eternal being that is living a human experience. And that is very out there for anyone who's hearing this, that thinks a near-death experience isn't real, or that thinks that this life is the only life that we live, and that after this is only heaven and hell, or after this is nothing. And if you do believe that, that is all right. I am not here to change your beliefs. I am here to help you open your mind to a new way of viewing, thinking, being. So if you, too, have experienced something that you either repressed, suppressed, were embarrassed of, couldn't let out, I urge you to share that in the comments. I urge you to share your story on your social media page, on your YouTube channel, even with your closest friends and family. I urge you to share the story. I urge you to let it out, because everything we experience has meaning, and everything we experience has importance. And it's up to us to draw meaning from those experiences. It's up to us to understand why we're here. And if you don't know why you're here, I hope that you understand that you're here to love yourself. You're here to forgive yourself. You're here to experience yourself in your core essence and true being. So with that, I'm going to leave you to ponder this story and know that even when tragedy strikes, even when hardship strikes, even when friction strikes, it is not there to hurt you. It is not there to combat you. It is there to help you grow. I send you all the best. I wish you all the best. And I hope you all live the most prosperous, meaningful life that you are able to. Namaste.